Dallas Stars picked up their first win of the season tonight, 4-2 here against the Detroit Red Wings. It was a game where the Stars finally cashed in on some of those opportunities. They scored 3 goals on 83 shots in the first 2 games. Tonight they scored 4 goals, one of them an empty netter, but starting to see them take advantage of opportunities. Ken Hitchcock picked up his 782nd career win, moving into a tie for 3rd all-time with Al Arbour. You also had Ben Bishop pick up his first win in the Stars, and John Klingberg had a goal and an assist, kind of continuing. He's been very good to start the season offensively. Stars power play, that first unit in particular with Klingberg, Shore, Radulov, Sagan, and Ben have now scored in 3 straight games. So that's something that's been very encouraging to the early part of the season, even with Dallas at 1-2. Couple takeaways from tonight. You had Martin Hanzal, arguably his best game. It was his best game with Dallas. He scored an empty net goal, but even before that, he actually impacted the game. Was a big factor on the penalty kill, as Dallas went 4 for 5 on the penalty kill, and was good on faceoffs. Tyler Pitlick was very good tonight. I just wrote a story about him. Tyler doesn't have any real pro experience shorthanded. Even in the minors, he was playing the power. He was a power play guy. He was a guy who, if he was playing penalty kill, was either a preseason game or maybe it was in a laugher where the game was out of reach, or he was taking a late offensive draw when there's 5-6 seconds left while the team was in the power play, but they had an offensive draw. So the Stars have turned him into a penalty killer, which was a bit of a surprise for him, but it's a way for him to get on the ice, and he's taking advantage of that. Tonight he had, down at this end, he forced a turnover and then drew a interference call against Dylan Larkin that canceled out a Detroit power play. And then in the 3rd period, he forced a turnover down at this end and set up Radek Fox in front of the net and scored. And the Stars almost scored shorthanded. Defensively, we saw Julius Honka make his season debut tonight with Dan Hamhuis dealing with a groin injury. Honka was paired with Jamie Alexiak, and that pair was sheltered pretty much. They didn't have many defensive zone draws, but it was actually a role that fits pretty well for that group if you can trust your top 4. It allows Honka to kind of be that creator offensively, and allows you to kind of take baby steps with him into being a full-time player. It's a role that works well if your top 4 is working well. The key question is, can your top 4 be consistent? Tonight, Stephen Johns had a real rough night. Ben Bishop bailed Johns out one time in the first period where Anthony Mantha went right around him, and Johns played it very poorly, and Bishop bailed him out. Johns was also at fault on the 4-on-3 power play goal. He didn't really take away the passing lane, and that was Detroit's first goal, and he had a couple other mistakes as well. So you just need to see more consistency out of Johns for him to be considered a top 4 option, because who knows, maybe in the long run, maybe Honka, if he continues to buckle down defensively, he could be that top 4 guy, and Johns becomes your 3rd pairing guy, which is probably more ideal as you move forward. Overall, it's what you needed to see from the Stars. You never want to say Game 3 is a must-win game, but you need to see this team respond after how things went in the first 2 games, and they did that. They have Arizona and Colorado later this week, 2 teams that historically have not done very well. I think Colorado haven't done well in the past couple of years, but have been better this year. But you'd like to see them start to string together some wins, and you have to do it. The Central Division's very good tonight. St. Louis won tonight. Nashville won tonight, and you need to start picking up some wins. Overall, things trending in the right direction, and we'll see how things work when they go on the road this week.